You know, in any organization, data can get, well, messy. But who's actually responsible for keeping it clean, trustworthy, and safe? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a super critical behind-the-scenes role that does exactly that, the data steward. Let's break down what this is and why it matters so much.
So, think about it for a second. Data governance gives us the rule book, right? But what good is a rule book if no one's actually on the field to enforce it? Who are the referees in the world of data? Well, that's the big question we're here to answer.
To really get a handle on this, let's use a simple analogy from back in our school days. You remember the class monitor, right? The teacher set the rules for the classroom, but it was the monitor who was right there on the ground, kind of helping make sure everyone was following them. Believe it or not, data stewardship is a lot like that.
Let's just break this down. Data governance, that's like the official book of school policies. It sets all the big rules. But data stewardship, that's the class monitor. That's the person on the ground actively making sure those rules are followed every single day. It's all about action, not just a rulebook sitting on a shelf.
Okay, so the class monitor analogy is a great start, but let's move into the official business definition. How do we talk about this role in a more, formal setting? It really is all about translating those high-level rules into everyday practice.
And here it is. Data stewardship is the operational arm of data governance. That's the phrase to remember. It's not theoretical, it's completely hands-on. Data stewards are the actual people designated to manage specific sets of data day in and day out.
So, why does this role even exist? What's the point? Well, it really boils down to three crucial things. First, they enforce the rules, just like our class monitor. Second, they're obsessed with maintaining data quality because, let's face it, without clean data, business decisions are just shots in the dark. And third, and this is huge, they act as a translator between the techie IT teams and the business users, making sure everyone's speaking the same language.
Okay, so we've got the what and the why down. But what does a data steward actually do all day? What does their to-do list look like? Let's dive into their core responsibilities.
You can really break a data steward's job down into four main pillars. It starts with enforcing the rules. Then it's about resolving issues as they pop up. After that, it's about educating the team to stop future problems before they start. And finally, it's managing all the documentation about the data, so everyone stays on the same page. Let's see what that actually looks like.
Okay, this is where the rubber really meets the road. For policy enforcement, think about them making sure only a sales manager has the power to edit a customer's record. For issue resolution, that's them rolling up their sleeves and merging two different profiles for the exact same customer. They also lead training sessions, say for store managers on how to enter data correctly, and, super importantly, they manage the metadata. That's the data about the data, so everyone knows what a field means and where it came from.
Theory is one thing, but let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. We're going to look at a classic example from the retail industry, and you'll see just how big of an impact good data stewardship can have.
So, picture this. A huge retailer has customer info pouring in from hundreds of different stores all over the country. You can just imagine the mess, right? You end up with misspelled names, old addresses, and, multiple accounts for the very same person. It's a super common problem, but a really serious one.
So, what did they do? They put data stewards in charge of this problem. These stewards dove right into the CRM system, cleaning up all the existing records and merging those duplicates. But here's the really smart part. They also trained the store staff on how to enter data correctly from the start. They went from just cleaning up messes to preventing them from happening in the first place.
And the results? They were huge. All of a sudden, marketing campaigns were actually hitting the right people. Customer service agents could see a clear, single view of every person they talked to, and the entire business could finally trust its data to make smart decisions. It was a massive win all around.
We've covered a lot of ground here, from class monitors to major corporate impact. So let's boil this all down to the most important points, the things you should absolutely walk away with.
All right, so let's recap the essentials. First, stewardship is the hands-on, daily work of managing data. Second, stewards are the people who enforce the rules, fix the problems, and teach everyone else. And most importantly, this is not just some background IT job. This role has a direct and really powerful impact on the company's success.
If you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this right here.
Governance equals the rules. Stewardship equals the action. It's the critical difference between just having a plan and actually making that plan happen.
And that leaves us with one final thought for you to chew on. Now that you know what a data steward is and why they're so important, think about your own world, your own work. What data are you using that's maybe a little messy or untrustworthy? What information is just crying out for a dedicated steward to take ownership? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.